everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Cold, beautiful day. Got the glove on. No glove over here though. That way I can have the ability to mess around with my devices as I vlog here in the car on this beautiful, cold, gorgeous day, this winter day. Got a crowded freeway. Everybody's out either working, Christmas shopping, delivering packages. There's just a lot of people out, man. And maybe some of these folks are skipping work. Got the multi-view window feature with the LG V20. I'll never ever get tired of that feature, man. This is why this device still is my go-to device. Even though I have the Moto Z2 Force that I can vlog with, and it's doing me justice when it comes to vlogging, whether it's during the day, whether it's in the dark, early in the morning, whether it's the rear or the front cameras, doing great. My Sony Xperia XZ Premium, doing great when it comes to vlogging. Again, front and rear cameras, everything working great. Two devices that I picked up late in the year that are two of my favorite devices of 2017. And I know that there's going to be a lot of YouTubers uploading some content when it comes to picking their device of the year. Mine's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the same. I am not the typical YouTuber. There's just a lot of different ways that I handle this team, this channel, and I'm going to go by what I've had in hand. I'm not going to go by what is out there that I didn't get a chance to pick up or financially I couldn't pick up. But before I get going on that, there's been some comments left on the channel here asking where I've been, what's going on, why isn't the channel growing, why did everything just come to a halt? Bam! Halt! You know what I'm saying? I already uploaded a couple different videos, maybe 3 or 4, mentioning that this time of the year is really difficult because my want and desire is to spend a lot of time with my family when I'm not working, put in a lot of time in at work, a lot of hard work. It's busy during the holidays in retail, and any chance that I get, I'm just spending it with the family, taking care of chores, Christmas shopping. There's just so much more happening, you know, taking care of my parent as well as my wife's. So you know, they're getting up there in age and they need some help. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. And I don't need to get into details. It's just really crazy busy. But I haven't disappeared. You know, you can go and watch the videos. I have a lot of videos up, whether they're older or new. I'm still around. You can still leave messages on the videos for me. You can leave them on Google Plus as well, over at Twitter. You know, it just right now it's hard to commit to doing anything, and I've had no desire to bring anything else in at this point when it comes to smartphones. I've cut back on the product reviews. I've notified all the companies that are working with me, that have blessed me, have blessed this team, this channel, and I said I got to take it easy. I got to slow down, and they're all understanding. There are devices I'm looking into, but I just haven't really had that desire to pick anything else up. Man, that sun is bright. Going to the mall right now to do some Christmas shopping because I got a couple hours in between everything else that I'm doing. So I thought I'd, you know, shoot a video out and let everybody know that, hey, I'm still here. But I have to prioritize my time, and I appreciate those of you who have missed me coming on and just doing whatever, whether it's talking about tech, smartphones, products, just vlogging, just shooting to shoot with all of you. But as far as my devices I have right now, and going into the latter part of this month, December, and choosing a device of the year, man, I've had so many devices. This was the first year that I brought in an iPhone, had the iPhone 8 Plus. Got to do a lot of hands-on with the iPhone 10, a lot of time, whether it was at Best Buy, whether it was in a T-Mobile store, got to do a live show, got to do a hands-on, you know, so I did a lot with that device. Sure, I didn't own it, but for as much as I had that device in hand, and I also had that device in hand that was not just a store device, you know, just there to go in and mess around, and it didn't. It wasn't active as if I owned it. One of the guys that works at T-Mobile has his own, and he let me mess around with it and handle it and use it. So the functionality was all there. The connectivity was all there. So it wasn't a demo device, is what I'm trying to say, as I'm thinking about all of that. It wasn't a demo device. It was an actual device that I got to spend some time with. And overall, I wasn't that impressed. I don't like the notch. That's just me. I can't stand the notch. Okay? It is what it is for me, personally. But, you know, but I had a chance to bring in that iPhone 8 Plus, and that was a great device. My final review on that device, basically my final statement about that device was, and not so much that device, but the, you know, iOS. And when it comes to an iPhone, for me, it was a fun device. It was an easy device. Once you learn it, it's simplistic. It's, you know, everything is what it is right there. And there's not a whole lot more than you can do with it outside of what it is. And that is a very simple experience, a very fun experience. It's a, iOS is, you know, wow, it works. It works. And that's why a lot of consumers love their iPhones. Has the, if I can remember correct, the A11 chipset. Powerful chipset, performance, everything on an iPhone. What it should have been, it was. And that was the same experience with the iPhone 10. It just, you had to learn a different way of being able to use the device as far as the functionality, okay, because you don't have that home button anymore. So, you know, it's all that facial recognition. Different ways of going about and using that device. But to me, the iPhone, the iOS experience, at the end of the day was, it's a great snack to help you get through the day. But if you want the full meal deal, to me, in my opinion, Android is the way to go. Okay, it won't be the last iPhone I have here on my Project 13. So going into 2018, depending on what goes on in 2008, there's a lot of things that can happen and change in my life, with the channel, with, you know, there's just, you never know. But I would love to bring in another one going forward and have that experience again and see what Apple does, you know, as far as any changes on their newer devices. But, you know, it's a great snack. Okay, it's just a very simple experience. Full meal deal. Android, LG V20. I got my Sony Xperia XZ Premium right over here on my Audi car mount. So that's how I look at it. Now, going towards the end of this month and choosing a device of the year, I'm going to have the HTC U11 is going to be right there. And coming into December, that was still at the top of the list. But in having the Moto Z2 Force now for a while that I bought for 500 smacks, and the Sony Xperia XZ Premium, I've had a lot. I've been having a lot of fun. Not had a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with both those devices. And we're talking about this devices this year and what I've had. Whether it was the LG V30, whether it was the iPhone 8 Plus, whether it was the LG G6. Wow, I can't remember all the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, the Samsung Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus. I have to throw the Note 8 in there, even though I didn't utilize the S Pen, and my son, who now has that device, is utilizing that. He actually dropped that device out of his pocket. at a work site, took off, realized he didn't have the device, went back 20 minutes later, found the device on the ground, on the cement, with tire marks on the screen protector. So it must have fell underneath the car when he left, and he rolled over it, leaving the area where he was at. And when he went back, there was tire marks on the screen protector. He had to wipe it off. I can't remember what case he had on there, but the case had some scratches and chip marks on the corners. Screen protector had the tire marks. He wiped that all off, and there is nothing wrong with the Note 8. Nothing. He ran over that device. That is just crazy. So, thanks to the case that is on there. It might be an Orsley case. I can't remember. Lightning Night screen protector and the device itself. It was ran over. And it was 100% intact. We took off that screen protector, put a new one on, and there was nothing wrong with the display. No creaks, no squeaks. The device was just solid all together in one. Crazy. Note 8 going to be in the list. ACC 11, the Sony Xperia XZ Premium. It was going to be between the Moto Z2 Force, and I know a lot of you going, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? For me, in my opinion, for what I've used all year long, yes, I like the Moto Z2 Force that much. It is a device that has been overlooked. I know some of you don't like it, some of you hate it, some of you can't even believe those words just came out of my mouth. But we're talking about what I've experienced and what I've used. That was a device I considered throwing in the list. It was overlooked, and it got looked at only because the price came down and where it should have been. And it was an overpriced device. It was never about it not being a decent device or a good device or a great device for some. Okay, because some look at it as, some look at it as, some good, some great, some wow. I'm between the good and the great. I really dig that device. There's a lot to love about the Moto Z2 Force. And it's only now because it dropped to where I got it at 5, then it went to 375, then it went to 3, and everybody's picking it up, and they're loving the device. That's what happened to the Essential. Devices that do not get marketed right, that do not get priced right, and they get overlooked, and all of a sudden, they drop in price, and they're great devices. No, they were always great devices, and I've said this before in other videos. There was just two areas that weren't met, that weren't done right, that didn't justify the device itself. Did they need some help? Do they need some help? Yeah, but the Essential has gotten a lot of updates, and it has really become a top device now. Moto Z2 Force, it is what it is. I love it. I dig it. That's just me. The Sony Xperia XZ Premium, that device is amazing. It's amazing. It's right there. It's right here. I got 4K always on my device. 80B fast boot from XDA developers, side-loaded it, and 4K is always going on my device, on my XZ Premium. Battery has not been affected by that at all. The visuals on this IPS display, and I prefer OLED, but the visuals on the XZ is one of the best ever when it comes to an IPS LCD display on a device. And we'll turn up a little music here. I'm about media. I'm not a gamer. I'm about media, videos, movies, music. The speakers are smooth sounding, very smooth. They're not that loud. They're not that loud, but the quality in that I am receiving in these ears when listening to music or watching movies with the sound that's being delivered, the quality is amazing. And you know what? It still has a headphone jack. Okay, yeah, I know. I just heard some of you say, what about that fingerprint reader? I can live without it. Again, it's just me. I can live without it. I can actually route that into my device. And if I decide not to sell it, I may do that. It may be a keeper forever It may go into the ranks of the Nokia Lumia 1520, of the Motorola Nexus 6. Peace to that device. Still holding up. It's an amazing device. You know what I'm talking about, the Nexus 6. The ZTE Axon 7. The HTC U11. And now, the Sony Xperia XZ Premium. The Moto Z2 IVs, I don't know. I may keep that, I may sell it. It's a great device. It is a really great device for me. But there's always going to be Moto doing what Moto does. And I'm sure I'll get that same experience on other devices that Motorola and Lenovo puts out. The XZ is just it's a different beast. It's a different type of device that I got an IQ Shield liquid screen protector on here. A clear case on here from Tectide. And look at how sexy that looks. The IQ Shield is just, wow. I put that on there and it just looks flawless. Just one sexy device. I'm running Nova Launcher. I wanted to check it out and see how it ran. It doesn't matter, man. This device is so fast. It performs so well. It just feels, I love the square bar-shaped phone. You know, the form factor. I love the bezels housing those front dual speakers. This may end up being my device of the year. What? I know some of you are saying, what? Yeah. It may end up being my device. It may have taken the HTC U11 out of being that device. The Note 8. You could put /S8, S8 Plus, almost basically same device. There's a few different areas on the Note 8, obviously the S Pen, but Samsung, you know, they're great devices. They're consumer devices. They're the average consumer devices, just like an Apple device, an iPhone. Okay, it's what the average consumer loves, and it's what they go out and buy. This device right here may be the one that beats the HTC U11. Cameras, front and rear, the display, the headphone jack. Sure, it doesn't have wireless charging. It's got fast charge, though. I love the way that the power button is recessed in here. So you got your volume rockers that stick out, and then it doesn't make you think that power button's part of the volume rocker, because there's some devices that you have the volume rocker and then the power button, which extends out as well, and you end up touching all those areas, figuring out where is that volume rocker, and you hit the power button, turn the device off. So the fact that they have it recessed right in that area allows you to know that your volume rocker is right here, and then as you go down, it goes in, and you know that is your power button. So I love the way they did that, because if you're going to have a power button protrude out from the side of the device, I think you ought to have it on the, at least give it some space down below, at least about a ½ an inch away from your volume rocker, or have it on the other side. Either way, volume rocker, this side or this side. Choose one area, power button here or here. I don't care. Or spread them out so you don't hit the wrong button is what I'm getting at. Ah! Okay. But the fact that it's recessed in there, that it's dipped in there, allows you to know what you're hitting. And I love the way Sony did that. The way they implemented that design, the aesthetic look when it comes to the Sony. This is just, I'm talking a lot about it because this has become one of my favorite devices. Wow. I love this device. I love my experience with it. The recording, when creating content has been awesome. Uploading my content from this device has been speedy fast. Yeah. So anyway, I'm still around. A lot to do. Holidays. I don't know what's going on going into the new year. All I know right now, device of the year would probably be between the Note 8 is in there, the S8, S8 Plus. It's kind of like a ball of those devices. But it's between the XZ Premium and the U11. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm having a lot of fun with the devices that I brought in. And most of you know I had the Essential for a little bit. I took that back and ended up using some of that money for other things, along with the Moto Z2 Force, which, in my opinion, is a better choice for me. I love the 16:9 aspect ratio. I know that we have devices that are almost bezel-less, and I mean almost, because they're not bezel-less, they're almost bezel-less. Whether it's a nipple, whether it's a notch, whether it's a little bit of a bezel at the bottom to house a fingerprint sensor, or just a little bit up top and bottom without anything there, but you almost, like on the Samsung devices where it rounds off on the edges and you have just a tiny bit of bezel, 1/16 of an inch on the top and bottom, which almost gives you a bezel-less display. And there's a lot of other devices that I didn't have in hand that are close to bezel-less displays. I love the old school look. I love the new school look. It's intriguing. It's great. But it doesn't give my hands the room to hold the device. I have to hold it like this. And this doesn't work for me. And after a while of holding a device and watching a movie, I like to hold my device like this. So having that extra bezel on the top and bottom, if you look at my collection of devices right now, they all have bezels. I don't have one device that has that 18:9 aspect ratio. They're all 16:9. So whether it's the HTC 11, whether it's the LG V20, whether it's the Sony Xperia XZ Premium, whether it's the Motorola Nexus 6, whether it's the ZTX on 7, whether it's the Moto Z2 Force or the Nokia Lumia 1520, they're all bigger devices. I love tall, wide, huge devices. Again, I love what we have now, but is that really, is that just progression when it comes to smartphones? Thanks for watching, everyone. I gotta go to the store. I'm still around. Watch the videos that I have up. Leave some feedback. Again, over at Twitter, over at Google+. Twitter is at Anthony131368. And here on YouTube, subscribe, share, and donate. It's been a busy holiday. I miss every single one of you, but I'm still here, I'm still around. God bless. Be of good cheer. Make somebody's day. Find reason to continue your journey in a positive way. Because at the end of the day, these are just things. It's really what you do with your life and how you help others and making life positive. Especially during the holidays. There's a lot of people that need a hello. Hey, how are you doing? They need some love, man. And that's what you have to give them. God bless. I'm out.